and asked if I thought he could make anything of himself. The problems of money, of situations, of debts, of the future, and primarily of himself were so complicated, and he was so overwhelmed with difficulty that he regarded the situation as completely hopeless. I assured him that if he would get himself personally straightened out and get his mental attitudes attuned to God's pattern of thought, and if he would learn and utilize the technique of faith, all of his problems could be solved. One attitude that both he and his wife had to clear out of their minds was that of resentment. They were dully mad at everybody and acutely at some. They were in their present unhappy condition, so they reasoned in their deceased thoughts, not because of any failure on their part, but because of dirty deals other people had given them. They actually used to lie in bed at night telling each other what they would like to say to other people by way of insults. In this unhealthy atmosphere, they tried to find sleep and rest, but with no successful results. Maurice Flint really took to the faith idea. It gripped him as nothing ever had. His reactions were weak, of course, for his willpower was disorganized. At first, he was unable to think with any power or force due to his long habit of negativism. But he held on tenaciously, even desperately, to the idea that if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, nothing is impossible. With what force he did have, he absorbed faith. Of course, he practiced to have faith gradually increased as he practiced it. One night, he went into the kitchen where his wife was washing dishes. He said, "The faith idea is comparatively easy on Sunday in church, but I can't hold it. It fades. I was thinking that if I could carry a mustard seed in my pocket, I could feel it when I began to weaken, and that would help me to have faith." He then asked his wife, "Do we have any of those mustard seeds? Or are they just something mentioned in the Bible? Are there mustard seeds today?" She laughed and she said, "I have some here in a pickle jar." She fished out one and gave it to him. "Don't you know, Maurice," Mary Alice said, "that you don't need an actual mustard seed? This is only the symbol of an idea." "I don't know about that," he replied. "It says mustard seed in the Bible, and that's what I want. Maybe I need the symbol to get faith." He took it in the palm of his hand and said wonderingly, "Is that all the faith I need? Just a small amount, like this tiny grain of mustard seed?" He held it for a while and then put it in his pocket, saying, "If I can get my fingers on that during the day, it will keep me working on this faith idea." But the seed was so small, he lost it. And he would go back to the pickle jar for another one, only to lose it also. One day, when another seed became lost in his pocket, the idea came to him. Why couldn't he put the grain of mustard seed in a plastic ball? He could carry the ball in his pocket or put it on his watch chain, always to remind him that if he had faith as a grain of mustard seed, nothing would be impossible unto him. He consulted a supposed expert in plastics and asked how to insert a mustard seed in a plastic ball so there would be no bubble. The expert said it could not be done for the reason that it had never been done. which of course was no reason at all. Flint had enough faith by this time to believe that if he had faith, even as a grain of mustard seed, he could put a mustard seed in a plastic sphere. He went to work and kept at it for weeks and finally succeeded. He made up several pieces of costume jewelry, necklace, bowpin, keychain, bracelet, and sent them to me. They were beautiful, and on each gleamed the translucent sphere with the mustard seed within. With each one was a card which bore the title Mustard Seed Remembrancer. The card also told how this piece of jewelry could be used and how the mustard seed could remind the wearer that if he had faith, nothing was impossible. He asked me if I thought these articles could be merchandised. I was no expert in such matters, so I showed them to Grace Ursula, consulting editor of Guideposts magazine. She took the jewelry to a mutual friend, Mr. Walter Hoving, president of Bonwit Teller Department Store, one of the greatest executives in the country. He at once saw the possibilities in this project. Imagine my astonishment and delight when in the New York papers a few days later was a 2-column advertisement reading, "Symbol of Faith, a genuine mustard seed enclosed in sparkling glass makes a bracelet with real meaning." And in the advertisement was the scripture, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, nothing shall be impossible unto you. These articles sold like hotcakes. Now hundreds of great department stores and shops throughout the country find difficulty keeping them in stock. Mr. and Mrs. Flint have a factory in the Midwestern city producing mustard seed remembrances. Curious, isn't it? A failure goes to church and hears a text out of the Bible and creates a great business. Perhaps you had better listen more intently to the reading of the Bible and the sermons the next time you go to church. Perhaps you too will get an idea that will rebuild not only your life, but your business as well. Faith in this instance created a business for manufacturing and distributing a product that has helped and will help thousands upon thousands of people. So popular and effective is it that others have copied it, but the Flint Mustard Seed Remembrancer is the original. The story of the lives that have been changed by this little device is one of the most romantic spiritual stories of this generation. But the effect on Morris and Marianne Flint, the transformation of their lives, the remaking of their characters, the releasing of their personalities, this is a thrilling demonstration of faith power. No longer are they negative, they are positive. No more are they defeated, they are victorious. They no longer hate, they have overcome resentment, and their hearts are filled with love. They are new people with a new outlook and a new sense of power. They are two of the most inspiring people I ever knew. Ask Morris and Mary Alice Flint how to get a problem solved right. They will tell you, have faith, really have faith, and believe me now, they know. If as you read the story, you have said to yourself negatively, and that is being negative, the Flints were never so bad off as I am, let me tell you that I have scarcely ever seen anybody as badly off as were the Flints. And let me say further that regardless of however desperate your situation may be, if you will use the 4 techniques outlined in this chapter, as did the Flints, you too can make your problems solved right. In this chapter, I have tried to show various methods for solving a problem. Now, I wish to give 10 simple suggestions as a concrete technique to use generally in solving your problems. 1. Believe that for every problem there is a solution. 2. Keep calm. Tension blocks the flow of thought power. Your brain cannot operate efficiently under stress. Go at your problem easy-like. 3. Don't try to force an answer. Keep your mind relaxed so that the solution will open up and become clear. 4. Assemble all the facts impartially, impersonally, and judicially. 5. List these facts on paper. This clarifies your thinking, bringing the various elements into orderly system. You see as well as you think. The problem becomes objective, not subjective. 6. Pray about your problems, affirming that God will flash illumination into your mind. 7. Believe in and seek God's guidance on the promise of the 3rd Psalm, Thou wilt guide me by thy counsel. 8. Trust in the faculty of insight and intuition. 9. Go to church and let your subconscious work on the problem as you attune to the mood of worship. Creative spiritual thinking has amazing power to give the right answers. If you follow these steps faithfully, then the answer that develops in your mind or comes to pass is the right answer to your problem. I hope you found this helpful. This is the end of chapter 10. My name is Catherine. If this is something that helps you, I would encourage you to actually buy the book and read it along with me. It'll make more sense for you. I really hope this has helped. Listen to it over and over again, because you never know when you're feeling down. Just listening to words of positivity can actually give you a whole new insight on how to deal with things. So I sign off for now. Until the next time, have a lovely day. Bye-bye.